Let's talk gear and let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be throwing under the docks. I like to throw just a good old-fashioned bass jig. Freshwater guys may recognize this. This just got a little Canyon Plastics crawl on it. And this is an open water jig. It's just a bass jig. And you see I got 20-pound test leader and 50-pound braid. I throw heavy around docks, and hopefully we'll get to show you why. You get fish around some of these pilings, and what they'll do is they'll pull you under. So for that, I'm going to be using, again, my Catalyst PTS little 7-to-1 burner reel. It's a CT100H. H means high speed, as in heave them out from under the docks. So that's the reel I'm going to be throwing on a rod, and this one's going to be a medium heavy. Today I think I've got a medium here just to have some fun. Let's go see what we can do. Now there's a couple different approaches that I have when fishing docks. I'm sure I don't have to tell some of you that the fish are going to be hanging near the pylons of the docks. The pylons, of course, the vertical cement pieces. Sometimes they're made out of wood. This particular marina here, it's really pretty modern, so they're going to have concrete in a lot of spots. There's also going to be, fish are going to be up on the seawalls, especially when the water is up high. Right now we got high tide, so the two places I'm going to be hitting the most are going to be around the pilings and the seawalls. I just got struck and missed. Now when I'm fishing around the dock, I like to get in there and try again. These fish are what I call homebodies. They live there. They're used to snapping at things, and sometimes it gets away. So he's just as disappointed in me as I am. Hammered it. There's no excuse for not getting it. Hold on, Dave. Hold on. Gotta get away from that dock. What a mean one! Wow! Oh! Master of his domain, that little fish is. And that's his domain. Right up next to the piling. I did a cast right past that piling. As I brought it right to it, boom, there he was. Now I've been casting past pilings because the water's up on the seawall. And I like to hit the seawall first and bring it past the piling when it's up. Other times what you might want to do is just a little pitch or a flip and actually throw it right to the pilings. Oh.
Wham!
I was saying, right before I said that, I just had another bite. Didn't stick. They're not right on the wall, they're kind of off.
Away from you. Oh, 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 oh!
Oh! Whoa, this one's really cool. He just ticked it, too. Oh! That one ate the jig.
He wanted that.
That's probably not good one, too. Okay, come on now. Can I have it back? There we go. That's a little more like it. Not a giant, but he's a keeper. Okay, there's a couple things that you want to look for when fishing docks. One is you're looking for a place for these fish to ambush. That's what the pilings are. Those pilings are perfect ambush. Now they're going to stage in different areas to ambush depending on the conditions. Right now we got a little bit of current. Now if the current was ripping out, what I mean by that, really moving swiftly, you see the protein phones kind of just moving real slowly, the eelgrass moving real slowly. If that was moving really fast, those fish would be on the eddy side or the down or leeward side of that current, down on the other side of the pilings. Right now, they may not be necessarily there. My guess would be try the shade. That's another spot that these fish like to ambush. The bass, whether they're freshwater, saltwater, whatever, they're actually kind of a lazy type of fish. They're not going to swim, 100 miles like a bluefish or a tuna to eat. They're going to put as little much effort in as possible. So they're not going to put a lot of effort in their feeding. They're going to sit there and wait for food to come by. Now they'll sit in the shade. A little bait fish comes by, a little shrimp or something, doesn't see them while they're in that shade. They're using that shade to hide. That's their invisibility cloak. So they're hiding in that shade, waiting for stuff to come by. Also, they're going to hide down current. Rather than fighting the current, they're going to stay in the eddy side of that current and wait for stuff to come by. And now they're stronger, they're faster, they're well rested. They can grab that bait before it swims away. That's what you want to look for in docks. Again, as I was saying before now too, the seawall's also a good place to hit, especially when the water's up. So what I've been doing is just running my casts, make my casts up on the seawalls, pulling them back in an area where I can get up next to the right side of that dock. Oh, there we go. Boy, he was pulling that drag. That's a beast. Just got to keep whining, man. They pull that drag. Look at that one.
Oh, that is a beauty.
Wow. Who knew that could come out of that shallow water? That dock, that end of that dock is only about 7 foot deep.
Sweet.
Look at the broad tail on that. That's how you know this is a broodstock fish. This fish will get bigger. Look at see how wide that tail is? That's the kind of fish that just has it in his genetic background. As long as we let it go, and we will. We let these fish go. Ah, look at that. Bye-bye, sweetie. Beast. Take a look at that jig. Look what that fish did to that thing. He just mangled it. See, I gotta put the skirt back on. I gotta put the tail back on. So high maintenance. There we go. That kind of switched to a little twin-tailed grub here. From that craw, and been getting more bites on it. Of course, now that one's gone. We have to put a new one. But what I'm trying to emulate here, what I really think is obviously there's some crawdads out here, but there are a lot of crabs. So we're just looking for crabs. That's what these guys are eating. Especially off those walls and all around. The crabs like to eat the mussels that are on the pilings. And these fish like to eat the crabs.